Hello everyone. I'm audible to you all of them. Hello.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Hi, this is Akshay. Akshay speaking, and I'm the host of this debate. With me, my partners Preeti and Tushar is here. So the topic is the existence of God. So without wasting any time, I will request Preeti to tell the debate rules.
Hi, I'm Preeti, and here are the rules of are as follows. First, participants will get a chance to speak. Maximum each participant can speak for up to 5 minutes. Second, inappropriate words are not allowed to speak. So let's start the debate. And now Divya will start the debate by sharing her opinions on the topic.
Good evening, everyone present here. I hope I am audible to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for the confirmation. So I'm glad that I got this opportunity to share my views about the debate topic. And as the topic is existence of God, and I'm supporting the topic with because I personally am a believer in God, and I feel that we all are children of God. So there are many instances like you might be wondering, like one will be at one. Suppose if I take an example, will be suddenly we'll be crossing a road, and suddenly due to some recklessness of one person, other person dies. There is no interrelation between these two persons, but the other person dies unknowingly. So, what I need to say from this conclusion is that we all are interconnected. Although we might be different parts of the world, we all are different. We don't know even each other properly. We all are the children of the great Creator of Lord. Because we to control our emotions, we to control our dignity, we to control ourselves. We need that supernatural power. We have many instances where science still questions. We don't have proper. I do know that science cannot say that God doesn't exist, and there are proofs that science contradicts saying that God exists. So the topic is really very interesting because it's an endless topic. Rather than it's a topic, it's a good topic for discussion. I guess. Thank you.
So Shruti, what do you think about Divya? What she said?
So, good evening. I'm Shruti, and I'm speaking against the motion, the existence of God.
Yeah.
I'll start with some of the atheists' favorite arguments that mostly focus on the lack of evidence to back the existence of the Almighty. First one is faith is unreliable. Why have faith in an argument that holds no evidence? Now, evidence can be verified independently again and again. Evidence may be refuted by new and improved experiments, but however, the facts that remain are that faith is not a pathway to the truth, so it is not a pathway to the supernatural. There is no actual evidence that can be independently verified that theism is a true and proper worldview. When theists can actually demonstrate that there is evidence to back their claims and which can be verified independently, we will cross that bridge when and if it ever happens. But that has not happened yet, apparently. Second, personal experiences of spirituality do not count as evidence. They are subjective in nature and cannot be grounded with any objective evidence. How many coincidences does it take for one to finally decide that the theory is true? Is germ theory still disputed despite the overwhelming evidence in its favor? It can be verified, and it has been verified. There are plenty of demonstrations. Belief in the divine is a personal venture for the Lord, and by my knowledge, it works on a personal level. Subjective evidence is all one can ever have, for no objective evidence can exist that will objectively prove or disprove the existence of the divine on some level. We have only our limited experiences and accounts to go by. So the cosmological argument from theists assumes that things must have a cause and that the chain of causes can only end by a supernatural event. Frank Turek, a Christian apologist, says that if something is spaceless and timeless, does it need a cause or a creator? Okay, if God can exist out of time, then God cannot move or change since he would be breaking the concept of them both. The same applies with God being outside of space. He occupies no space and is therefore dimensionless. Tell me, how can someone develop something like reality as we know it, since it's hardly a state in which someone can create something so beautiful and something so complicated? Also, what I would like to say is that God too must have a creator and cannot be the exception to the first cause rule. So there you are.
Uh,
That's as far as my
but
argument.
but in many religions like Hinduism and Islam, it is said that the existence of God is like it is a proof. If you see in Islam and Hinduism religion,
What proves exactly? Can you please tell me some of them?
like in Bible and many things.
How can you prove the reliability of the Bible?
Well,
And also the Mahabharata and Ramayana. I means the past has been reality. That's the reality. Means
yeah,
earlier
in
it was
Mahabharata
there.
and Mahabharata and in Ramayana, it is said that, and it is reality.
Well, yes, a lot of religious texts say a lot of things. Religion also condemns homosexuality. Religion condemns a lot of things, but they still keep happening. And Mahabharata and Ramayana, they also exist in the Bhagavad Gita talks about them. There are so many religious texts, so many historians arguing that it did happen, but there are still some people who think that who believe actually that it did not happen. While we do not have perfect evidence to say that it did happen, we also do not have perfect evidence to prove that it did not happen. So I don't think we can say that that is a proper argument.
But how can we prove that God does not exist? Because
we we cannot, we do not have the means to prove that God cannot exist, but we also that God cannot exist, but we also can't say that God does exist because there is no proper evidence that can be verified, like I said.
uh, and Tala, you want to say anything, Tala?
Can you please tell me what it is in
Am I audible,
in
sir?
brief?
Yes, you are audible to me.
Okay, thank you. First, I would like to thank the Heatic team. It is an experiment I have waiting since a long time. That there must be an online application where we could share our opinion and practice better our ideas and develop them accordingly. So, second thing I would like to say that I'm trying to improve my English. Would any one of you feel uncomfortable if I somehow, due to the lack of fluency, switch in Urdu language? I mean Hindi.
Uh, yeah, I can. Yeah, I can understand in Hindi too.
Oh, so if I somehow remain unable to articulate my ideas, so please allow me to switch in Urdu language. I mean Hindi, because the etymological origin of the both language are the same. So thank you for giving me the permission. So I move forward toward the argument. So I'll start with speaking in the favor of the topic. So the same idea that I was about to lay down at the foundation of my debate has just been pronounced by the Shruti, the previous speaker, that absence of a strong argument which could prove that God surely does not exist is in itself very favorable in the team government, because if speculation does not prove the existence of God, doubting also does not prove his absence. So I won't say that it also the argument can only be substantiated in or the favor of opposition side, because this type of cyclic debate leaves the debate unresolved. So moving on, the first argument that was debated by team opposition was somehow related that faith is not unreliable. Yeah, we totally believe that faith might be not unreliable, and how logical and empirical logic is very substantiated and provides some of the truths and scientific laws. But this debate is not about the religion. This is about the existence of God. So we are not talking about that how faith is good or bad. We are just debating whether God exists or not. So it felt to me like very unrelatable ideas to this very motion. The second thing that was described by that personal experiences or subjective experiences have no value. On the other hand, objective truths have some value, and because God cannot be verified according to the objective rules, therefore God does not exist. Now there have been some philosophers who have tried to make people understand that there is something which is not objective but still exists, and it is called in philosophy metaphysics. For example, Immanuel Kant was the founder of this branch of philosophy. He once said that we can see our foot and we walk, but how would you define the walk? Can you see the walk? Because in reality, motion is a concept. Motion is not an empirical object. So if it is not an empirical object, then would you imply that motion does not exist? No, you cannot imply that. There are some things which objectively does not exist, but still you not only believe it, but not empirically, but still you does not deny their existence. Why? Because these are concepts. So there is a whole branch of philosophy which is called metaphysics, which stands upon these concepts and use them to justify the existence of God. For example, another experiment I once read that uh, for example, you put your hand into a glass of water, which is full of lukewarm water. Okay, so and your right hand is uh, 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 is very cold, and your left hand is now very cold. Now suddenly you put both of these hands into a cold water. The left hand will feel more cold, and the right hand will feel less cool, less cold. Why does happen? The left hand might imply that the observation on the left hand might imply that the water is too cold, and the right hand might imply the water is only cold. Okay, so it is a degree of adjectives, degree of coldness. So how would you differently define these two ideas? Although these ideas very subjective in nature, still, these have some objective value. We try to understand the principle upon which the team opposition was establishing their case, that subjective experience have nothing to do with reality. We think it needs to be understood that subjective experiences have values and are often acknowledged not only by philosophers but scientists too. On the third level, we talked about how the there is no evidence, and in this regard they talk about that how creator has no self, the first cause, then how creator in itself came into being. So I think I would like to conclude my idea that were more of a reputations. Thank you for this. You can switch on to the another speaker. Thank you very much, sir. I will listen and then I will reply.
So, anyone want to say anything about this? Yeah.
Uh, First, I want to say, let me say who is God. Is he a human being, normal like us, a friend of us, a mentor for us, or an immortal who is above all? The answer will perhaps be possible for us to answer ourselves only. Man made religion and man instructs certain religions. The I think the epics like Mahabharata and Ramayana both made by great spiritual gurus and and not by God. Perhaps the view can be taken like this, that man believes God is the supreme judge on earth. God means the God decides the entire life of a man from birth to death. I think those people who are atheist or who believe in God is optimistic in his life and career future. Perhaps I think that it is the human greatest willpower on believing God that we can succeed in what means anything in life, even impossible thing on earth. Means we think that anyone is there behind our back, that someone is protecting ourselves. This is our belief. We it can be career or critical life survivor also. I think many of us take the names of God for any critical conditions also. Those people who in today's modern science world look towards ourselves and on machines and not God are perhaps hypothetical to the fact that they do not believe in God at all. So, so according to me, God allows us to be equal on all aspects, be it in religion or not. I think my mo- means my motto is that uh, God is there, and like we can't see we can't see him, like we can't see air,
Well,
but
can we say that like in a recently one user said in a Heatic, one user said that God is an alien. So is that true? Means really is it an is I don't know is it a true statement or not, but actually actually I found that in Heatic one user said that God is an alien. So what do you think about this?
uh, I don't know about alien means what means exactly what's that, but I can say that there is one supernatural power, and it is protecting us. And
There is
yes, I believe in God. Yes, I think it exists.
but we
Well,
don't have proof to like God exists or not, or might if God exists then he might be in another universe like
Yeah, that might we don't know.
so anyone wants to say something
I
about this.
think it is means God is like means anyone who is like I think with a great personality, that he's so perfect in everything and he has s- so many
I
means.
would like something,
Yes,
please.
yes,
Heatic recently said that it might be possible that God exists, and what if he does exist in some universe? It is more like an idea that was proposed by the Aristotle. He once quoted that if God is such a great entity that is being described by the Greek people and very religious people, then why God would care about us, such a tiny little creatures? He must have something great to do. He's such a big god and have attributes and characteristics very unimaginable to human being. then why would he take a pain or be concerned for us? So even if Aristotle was a very skeptical man and he was not a very religious man, but he said, if I, even if I confess that God exists, my God has nothing to do with the common human beings.
Well, if God exists, then he might be busy in making another universe like us.
Yeah, maybe we
Yeah.
cannot conceive the idea what is going on in God's mind, but if he is equipped with such unimaginable qualities and attributes, then in comparison to that God, why he would be very caring for us? It's like we do not give any care to the ants that what they say in English. That go through the floor and etc. So the way we treat the tiny little creatures is a reflection or analogy that how God might be used to think about us.
Yeah, well, anyone want to speak? Divya, you want to speak
Yeah,
something?
yeah, yes, sir. Like I heard I heard the points and they are very appealing. But I would like to just remind of the fact that yes, the point is said the God is a very supernatural being. He is capable of doing anything. So why is he so bothered about it? But even in any religion, anything, whenever there is a destruction, whenever there is a problem, when there is a huge device to the humankind, the God Himself came to protect us. Whether it is in Hindu to destroy the demons, God came in the form of Rama, goddesses. Even in Jesus, He came, He bore the sins. Even Muslims, everything. So we cannot just ignore the point that okay, let's take it the other Aristotle point that God may be superficial or not. But taking into simple thing, whatever points which we prove, whatever point we take to prove that God is exist, there are always contradicting tautologies to it. Tautologies indicates a different part, the counterparts are always there to it. So making all these points into this, we again analyze and most believers then fall back to the faith and divine existence. So they don't find doing it to proofs. Being in scientific world too, this topic, even the most scientific person, he even goes for the faith back again. Because taking a simple consideration, we see divinity in beauty. We see divinity in nature. We see divinity when someone helps us, when we are in need. So, all these simple acts of nature, when they are considered to be godliness, so I feel that God is present in everything. God is not just a superficial being or something like portrayed in water movies, religious books, pictures, and all. But it's just being faithful, just to bring the humanity out of this, just to make this world a better place to live in with much harmony and peace, in my view.
Yeah. Well,
I conclude my point in this way.
well,
My final points.
Shruti, you want to speak anything?
Well, I do agree with Divya that God does exist for a cause, and that's what the theists argue. But according to me, God is a supernatural entity, and for if He exists and if He created the universe, then He might as well take care of the things that He created. If He is capable of great things, then He might as well be capable of taking care of the more very complicated things that He created. And while I do agree, while I don't agree with Talha that subjective evidence does well the subjective evidence does matter, but when you have no proof to substantiate your claims, others really won't believe you. So well, that analogy I think was not very suitable.
Yes, so Tala, you want to say anything?
No, thank you. The answer is very refined, and I learned a lot from the answer that were recently given. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. So, but like in the evidence, like evidence for Christianity means in Christian religion, it supports the existence of God, and it is highly unlikely that anyone would have become a Christian in the first century without good reason to believe that Jesus had risen from the dead.
I think if there is no God, there is no rationality. There is simply a, I think that a simply a chemical reaction in our brain. If all that exists is material, then if God didn't exist, you wouldn't be able to know it. Reason is immaterial.
So what is the conclusion? Like, I mean, what is the conclusion of this debate? Like, does God really exist, or it's just an imaginary creation for us?
To conclude from my point of view, from my very childhood, we have been listening many examples contrary to this because we all are brought up in very different psychological, religious, and different atmospheres. And many contradicting points are like we use electricity every day. You know that current is passing through it, but can we see the current? No. Current is the main source of electricity. Without it, the current is we cannot even imagine electricity. So we cannot say that current is not there because we cannot touch it, we cannot feel it, but we can feel it. What about the lights? There are many contradicting points stating that it depends upon the faith. So I am a believer in God because it gives me strength, it gives me courage to do my works, it gives me positivity, it makes me an optimistic person. So this topic is a tautological point, as I told before. Even if you prove 100 points of supporting points, there will be 1,000 points of tautologies and opposing points too. So my conclusion is that this is ever-ending topic, which cannot be debated, which cannot be concluded at any point of time. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I agree with Divya what she said. Like, it's an endless topic, and you cannot prove that specifically that God exists or not. But but about I think that many people like I don't know about like other countries. I don't know, but in India, many religions supports the God. Uh, and I
It's because India is a multi-religious country where we have all kinds of religions like Buddhism, Hindus, Christians, Muslims. It's the only country where we find many people, many religions and
and
many contradicting thoughts.
and our ancestor told us I don't know. I means various type of stories we have heard from uh, when I was a child. So I heard many types of stories regarding God that he appeared, how he appearance and all. So
Yes, we don't know exact what it looks like.
yeah, but many like in you see that
Supernatural power.
in many shows in many shows in TV shows you have seen that uh, the
Yeah, it's an
appearance.
imaginary thinking, and they are creating it and showing us
Yeah, so
through TV
I
serials
sometimes
and
I
all.
think it's just an imaginary creature that woman made. I don't know, like I'm not saying that God exists or does not exist, but sometimes I think that God is just an imaginary for us, because like we have never seen it, or we don't have any exact proof for it.
Exactly. And one more point to discuss is that taking this religion controversies and contradictions into views, you have many religion conflicts, Hindus versus Muslims, Muslims versus Sikhs, Hindus internal conflicts. And this the one point which I like to say is no religions promote that you must kill other people and you must support only your religion people. You must only help and support your people. Instead of doing whether God exists, God doesn't exist or not, it's better to learn the preachings of whatever God, whatever the various religion books have told us. Because even the greatest millionaires I have read Robin Sharma, the man who sold his Ferrari. I hope many of you will be knowing he's become very famous. So he even not only that book really influenced me because in that he wrote a man who sold his Ferrari, where a person being a luxurious life with a total of uncertainty in life turns into a very happy and successful both from improving his self-worth rather than net worth. So it's important to inculcate the points which are good to improve our life, making our life existence valuable rather than conflicting whether God exists or not and creating the uncertainty.
Yep. I'm also recently I'm reading a book of parallel words, like about I'm studying about universe. So in that book it is said that God might exist, but he might be in another universe, like he might be an alien life, because he might be an alien too. And like you must see the pyramids, how they were built, because it's an impossible to build at this time. Even using the latest technology we can't build the pyramids. And something has missed behind the pyramid, that how they were built. I must say that something is there, that uh,
Yes, it's a mystery,
yeah,
and
it's the mystery for
those
us,
machines are, yeah.
like how the people build, because it's impossible to build with hi-fi technology. So I think that uh, in the time of building pyramids, actually I don't know, but I just assuming that at that time of building the pyramids, some you can say that I can say that some god appeared, and they helped to build the pyramid. Like I'm just assuming, I don't know that it's real or not, but just I'm assuming, because recently I'm studying about universe, so I'm reading a book. So according to my research, I'm just saying this.
Yeah, very interesting topic. Like as you told about universe, and as far as I remember reading a few weeks back, I was reminding myself about cosmic energies, black holes, dark
Yeah,
energies,
yeah.
which is still a great question of concern to scientists. As you, the concept of universe came into mind, I was just reminded of all these things because black holes, cosmic energies, and all they exist, but they don't know why they exist.
Yeah, we
They're
don't
very
know.
dark webs. Ah, exactly, dark webs
And
and
they
all
are
these
also a
concepts are
mystery for
very
us.
mysteries. Yeah, exactly. I agree.
And we can't we don't have any latest technology to go through in search of black hole and all. And even latest technology can or not also prove the existence of god. But yeah, but I heard that I don't know, it's from many people I heard that many of us have seen ghost, uh, like then my question arises is that if people can see the ghost, then why they can't see the God? Can anyone answer this? Hello. So, Shruti, you want to say anything?
Sorry, my net connection is actually very poor. Could you please repeat that question?
Yeah, I'm asking. I was asking that if some people says that I can see the ghost, like I can see the ghost, but my question is arise that if people can see the ghost, then why can't they see the God? Like many evidences are there that that proves that ghost actually exist.
Proves that ghosts actually exist. Okay. Can you give me one at least?
In like in many films also they have shown like true stories.
They could easily be faked.
Yeah, but still about 90% I think people say that ghosts really exist. And only some people experience with this like not you not everyone can experience like they can see the ghost, but only some people. I don't know that they really exist or not, because my question is that if they can see the ghost, then why we can't see the God?
As far as I know, like as you told, comedy parts are like in movies they show that dogs even who bark during the nights when they see some supernatural things, we feel suffocated, we see someone roaming, unnatural voices and all. So this thing, so psychologically, as it says, mind is the total everything. So even when our mind is unwell, when we totally concentrate on something very deeply involved in it, we have something called subconscious mind in our things. And whatever we do, whatever we see, whatever we experience, all our fears, emotions, and all, our mind unknowingly connects it to past experiences, past things, past persons. And there are many instances where even hallucinations are mostly considered where ghosts are there. Even as far as if you search for this topic in the Google, you can see many prank videos also, like
Yeah, yeah,
real video of ghost caught on CCTV, real TV, real
but
photos of
it's
ghosts and all.
most of the them are fake.
Yeah, most of them are fake. This topic, like mostly it is 50-50 chances that even, yeah, as God topic is there, even we have, so contrary this topic where from the spiritual things we have, like we can speak to the dead people when people dead with unresolved quenches, unresolved queries, unresolved wishes in the earth, they tend to revive, blah blah blah. All these exist, but 50% say that it is depending upon the mind, what we read, what we perceive. Suppose when we are in a deep shock, our mind to it just plays some tricks. As far as I what I heard.
Sir, I would like to add something that you were trying to say. Madam Shruti was saying that how uh, there is no evidence. Provide me at least one evidence that God exists. Now there is some problem with the definition of evidence. So if you take evidence something which is only empirical in nature, then it might not be interpreted as something very persuasive, because evidence is not something which can only be which only substantiated through our sensory organs. It's not only something which we can see and we can listen or we can smell. This is be an evidence can also go through beyond your sensations, and it is called usually a logic, because sometimes you provide indicators, and on the basis of those indicators you prove something. For example, there are multiple evidence that has been throughout the history been given to prove the god, and these evidence are more in logical nature rather than empirical nature. For example, one of the argument I was writing that if you deny the existence of god, so it is such kind of evidence or argument are called are very negatory in their nature. So if you deny the existence of god, then you are supposing that there is no afterlife. And if you are saying that there is no afterlife, then you are saying it doesn't matter what you do. And if we believe that it doesn't matter what we do, it means there is no such thing as morality. Now, the problem is that humans are intrinsically more inclined toward goodness, doing virtue, doing good things, which means their inherent inclination toward good thing have some meaning. And this meaning of doing things is more concerned with afterlife. God has embedded in us morality, so we may extract its pursuits in afterward life. So these kinds of arguments that are given, that just since morality exists, it is an indicator of the existence of God, who is more who has embedded it in us, who has embedded in us, uh, justify that humans are not sorry to use the Urdu language, खुली bands nahi hai. So we believe these kinds of logical arguments, many other. I am just providing. It might be very vulnerable or the weakest, but there are many logical arguments that throughout the history has been proposed by specifically the Western ontologist. I think it must be given a chance to hear. Or, I mean, it must be considered as something substantial evidence, these logical arguments. Thank you, sir.
But when it comes to afterlife, then again it arises a question like afterlife exists or not. It's also a question.
Yes, sir. Like we have many contradicting points saying that if you do good virtues, you will be going to heaven. Otherwise, you will be going to hell. We have many portrayings, especially when you saw in Hinduism, we saw Yama God. Whenever you do a single mistake, there will be a person counting all your mistakes. Then sometimes we have some say we have rebirth, some say we don't have rebirth. In Hindus and many other religions believe that we have seven births and previous births, actions and virtues also next counted to another people. The present lives and therefore. And this topic is also never ending topic.
Yeah, like it's never ending because even if we debate in this topic, like it many things comes like religion, afterlife, like Tala said about afterlife. Afterlife also come in this topic, universe, and it's never ending. Like it's a very big topic to debate.
Exactly, this point has not a point.
I think according to science, we live in the era of technologies, which is given by science, and science works on logic and explanations, and uh, and to and justify the ghost's existence with the proper logics and circumstances. I think the s- science examined the all cases and scenarios and came up with justification that experiencing or any or feeling any supernatural power or phenomenon is all, I think, in mind. I think, and believing and fearing is just myth. It can be. I don't know means it's reality or not, because I didn't uh, seen ghost actually. And also in the Indian and many other cultures, it is also believed that the spirit of any person or animal gets separated after the death and travels to another world. Means in yes, in Indian cultures also it is said that. And yes.
Yeah, in Indian culture, it is said that there is an afterlife.
Yeah, and they yes, after that they reproduce for new existence, so and they can be
But
animals.
it cannot be
Animals.
proved because no one has no one has experienced this.
Yes.
So
I have a question.
yes,
This was posed by Einstein. So, if there is a God who created the entire universe and all of its laws of physics, does God follow God's own laws? Or can God supersede his own laws, such as traveling faster than the speed of light and thus being able to be in two different places at the same time? And could the answer help us prove whether or not God exists? Or is this where scientific empiricism and religious faith intersect with no true answer? And if God wasn't able to break the laws of physics, she wouldn't arguably be as powerful as you'd expect a supreme being to be. But if she could, why haven't we seen any evidence of the laws of physics ever being broken in the universe?
Yeah, ma'am. Please, can I answer it, sir?
yes, yes.
Yeah, basically, Einstein was a follower of the philosopher Spinoza. So the entire concept that you had just explained was borrowed from Spinoza. Spinoza believed that God is hidden in nature's rules and laws. So basically, Spinoza was also a mathematician. So he used to believe that God is not something entity very human in nature, but it is an entity which is hidden in forms of rules, laws, the mechanisms of nature. Okay, so the proof of God that has been proposed by Einstein as well as Spinoza is that God does exist, and basically it's an Eastern concept which is also called the Wahdatul Wujud. That the order in nature is itself explain that God exists. The cohesiveness and consistency in physics laws, as you said it, explain that God exists. And I will I will try to explain it in more easy terms. So it is also called the intelligent argument because there is an order and consistency in everything. It witness the truth that there must be some creator who have taken care of this order, and being taken care of these orders and the preservance of specific laws uh, entirely contradict the most powerful atheist argument, that of Darwinist, because Darwinists believe that mankind has come into Darwinists believe that man has come into being due to the selection of nature. If the man has might have come into the being because of selection of nature, then there must be some differences between man and the rest of species, the species who have survived and the species who have what they say extinct. There must be some differences between both these species. But Darwinists have found very few differences between all species in terms of their natural processes. So, this uniformity in nature that was also witnessed by Einstein and proposed by Spinoza, the philosopher, not negate God, but conversely explain the existence of God. Even Einstein, once I read, okay, even Einstein once said that I believe in the God of Spinoza. So yeah, I think you might have a chance to read it once if you Google. So I think these kinds of it's like these kinds of scientific exploration not only make these people skeptical of God, but increase their conviction for the supernatural existence.
Yeah, but if anyone have heard about Nikola Tesla, well, he was a brilliant whatever we are today using because of him. Even if it is a mobile or not, mobile laptops and whatever is it. But my question is was Nikola Tesla a god for us? Because he predicted the future, like he created the future, like many things from mobile phones to laptops to the electricity. He was an brilliant. We can say that he was a brilliant scientist. So, what do you think? Because was Nikola Tesla a god for us? Because he predicted the future, and there are many there are many case study of him, mystery things of him that uh, we can't prove. We can't prove till now. Yes, Divya, you want to say?
No, sir. Just I was reminding of few things about Nikola Tesla. Like when electricity comes to mind, we just think of Einstein. But really, as you told, whatever appliances, everything is working on AC current. In fact, is the worth of Einstein. I mean, Nikola Tesla. The recognition what we give to Einstein sadly is not that much given to Tesla. But as you told, he is a great creator, of course, in his
Yeah,
few
but
terms.
actually, I was actually saying that he might be connected to the another universe, or he might be connected to God. I don't know. Just I'm like assuming this. I'm just saying this, but because he created some maze, like he created many things that we are using today, and it was a great invention, like uh, mobile phones, wireless charging and all. It was, and we are using it today. It was his great invention, and I want to say that was he connected to any god or an alien technology? Was he travel through time? So anyone anyone here to, yeah, Shruti, you want to say anything?
Well, I wouldn't say I will be able to justify the question, but well, person can be brilliant, a person can do amazing things. You see Elon Musk, you see people like Nikola Tesla, you see people like Einstein, just because they are
Like
amazing.
many people says that Einstein also had an something like alien technology because he predicted the black hole without knowing. No one can predict it. He imagined the perfect picture of the black hole, and after so many years, we got the uh, perfect image of black hole as Einstein predicted it. So, can we say that Einstein was an god because he? Can we say that he time travel? Uh, Tala, you want to say anything?
No, sir. I am unable to add on such an insight. Sorry, but it doesn't seem to me very logical that he might have any power of time travel.
Because in
Uh,
I have seen the
it
debate
doesn't
of
make
the
sense to me, sir.
I have seen the debate of the God in the Heatic app. So many people were like, I don't know, you have sought the debate or not, but I observed that debate. Many people were assuming that Einstein was a god, and they were different type of logic they were applying in the.
No, sir. Basically, these were these might be some remarks in his admiration. These might be hyperboling, obviously, and these might be a very different understanding of the concept of God if somebody say Einstein is God. So I am unable to understand how we came onto this conclusion, but I cannot. It doesn't make sense to me. So sorry, I cannot contribute on it.
Yeah, we can't this debate has I must say that what will be the conclusion of this debate? I'm thinking about this what will be the conclusion? God exists or does not exist? So what do you think? Like what will
It's a
the
never
final
ending
conclusion
topic.
of this?
It's a never ending topic.
We will say that it's an never-ending topic because even if we debate, many things will arise and many questions will also arise.
So I would like to add one of the proverb. It
Yes.
is said in Urdu. Please allow me. So वो कहते हैं कि जो समझ में आ गया वो खुदा ही क्या. So the definition of God demands us the irresolvable series of ideas. So जो समझ में आ गया वो तो खुदा नहीं होगा ना.
Yeah, you are saying correct.
Correct.
Well, think it's time to end this debate. Well, so everyone gave their opinions very well, and I think everyone was in perfect in their points and in debate. Well, thank you, Shruti, Divya, and Tala to joining this debate, and we are very thankful to you. So, okay, so anyone want to say anything?
Thank you, Team Heatic, for giving me such a beautiful opportunity. Really, I was waiting for such a platform to improve debating competition skills, like because we have many other things. But the best version of Heatic is that it keeps on updating every time. I was always from the beginning and really bringing me back. I'm really thankful to Heatic because without them interacting with me, I wouldn't have even got this opportunity. Thank you for updating all this, and I wish many more updates to become. And I wish to come back to this event again. I wish to improve my communication skills.
Like,
And really, my friend Shruti and Salab, you are really awesome in your own ways. Like, I was really shocked when Talab bro said like he was a bit weak in English, but I was really stunned that he was speaking very fluently with good vocabulary. In fact, so I learned many new points from all your four of you, like how the way you presented your insights, how you just quantified your vocabulary, quantified your views in a very extraordinary way. And this really one has is a really wonderful experience for me to improve my skills and knowledge. I hope the same. I wish you all the best. Both
yeah,
Shruti and Salam. And for Heatic and Preeti ma'am for their upcoming DMX. We all will be always there to support you in Heatic.
yeah, thank you for supporting us. And like our goal is to make communication skill better. Like in most of the like in young below 20 age, the main our main goal is to make the teenagers communication skill better. So well, I think everyone performed well, very well. And Tala, Shruti and Divya to all performed very well. So I'm thankful to all of them. So it's time to now end the debate.
So first of all, I want to thank the Heatic team. The same 2 points that were just described by Divya first, that I learned a lot of things, ideas, and specifically the English vocabulary from there. And the second thing, obviously, I was in search for some kind of platform where I could better the fluency and uh, uh, what they say,
Yeah, you can.
proficiency in English.
Yeah, you can
Uh,
speak in Hindi if you are finding difficulty in it.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Uh, Second thing I want to ask is, sir, would we be sent again some kind of topic on the email, or we have to subscribe again as a kind of request that we want to participate in debate?
Yeah, you can request us because
Same doubt again. Same doubt here.
actually we are updating the app and we are developing developing the app. So if you want to participate, then again you have to register for it, because when you register for
Okay.
it, we can see your request. So we will send you mail when the next, because we take debates in every 6 days, and we eventually give 4 days minimum time for the user to prepare for the topic. Like the next
Okay, right,
debate
sir.
will be
Thank you very
on this day only. The next debate will be on, I think, on 16th. Yeah, 16th November. The next debate will be on 16th November.
much. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
There is small doubt, like please
Yeah,
don't blacklist the users who come who just participated to just like we are very much interested. Like
yeah, but no, actually, there is an option like we some users like spoil the debate, so we actually block them. Like many requests come that please block this user, and also we put an option in the app itself that if
yeah, yes, sir. It's really a very good app. Like not only depending upon the sentence, we can comparing to the previous version. We used to get point for each and every sentence which you did, whatever it is, for hi or anything. But now competing with other, not any judges, with competing with our co-participants is really a very good experience because we'll be judging them, we'll be knowing their plus and minus, they'll be rating. It's a very initiative thought, sir. I'm really impressed.
yeah, thank you for coming in this debate. And now we will end this debate now. So any final?
Sir, when will this be updated in YouTube?
By tomorrow.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
Well, now it's time to say. Anyone still, if anyone want to give the conclusion for this topic, because like when it will be on YouTube, so what will be the conclusion? The users will see that what the conclusion of this topic. What is the conclusion? A perfect conclusion.